Hi everyone, welcome back to the summit. I am once again very excited. I have a great guest with us today. As I told you in many of the videos so far, this summit is all about helping you as a merchant understand exactly every single aspect of influencer marketing and the different parts of it that all come together to make influencer marketing what it is. And what I brought you today is actually the legal side of it, because this is so important. I think that we've all seen a few things going on recently with Facebook and a lot of other things going on in the online world. We need to understand that the legal side of the influencer marketing campaigns can actually cause a lot of problems in a business if you don't look into this. So please make sure you stay and watch all of this, because it's very important that you understand this to help you know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. So we've got Christy Westerfeld with us today, and she is amazing at what she does. She talks all about the legal aspects for entrepreneurs. So she's very much about helping smaller, medium-sized businesses understand the legal side in a very easy way to help them save money and not get themselves into big problems. So let's get to I'm going to introduce Christy now, and we can talk to her and welcome her to the show. So hi, Christy, nice to have you here.
Hi, thanks so much for having me on. I'm so excited to be here and talk all things legal when we're talking about influencer marketing.
Wonderful. When I first reached out looking for someone with legal and we got in touch with each other, you're very passionate about it. And that's what I love, because I think it's important that, you're presenting a probably very boring thing to a lot of people. A lot of people, yeah, you're laughing because it's so true, isn't it? A lot of people don't find this interesting and sort of think that if they can avoid it, it's going to be easier. But because you're so passionate about it, I'm so glad to have you, because you're going to bring us the information in a way that is simple to understand and also more entertaining than someone that's probably not so passionate about what they do.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think I really discovered this passion kind of accidentally. I was in the online space as a virtual health coach, kind of on the side to being a corporate attorney, and started getting a lot of questions, once I was in the online space. And the more I kind of learned about it and was able to help people, I realized this is a really cool thing to be able to support other business owners and help them make their dreams, of whatever it is, whether it's online coaching or whether it's a Shopify store or whatever they have, help make that a reality, and help them avoid legal issues, because that definitely can cause a lot of people's dreams to fall short. Whether they get hit with a huge penalty or a lawsuit, a lot of that stuff is totally preventable. So it's really my mission to make people aware of it so that it doesn't become an issue for them.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit more about your business. What you actually do is that you walk people through. Do you organize every aspect? What do you actually do for a business?
Yeah, so there's two pieces to it. So I'm an attorney, and then I am what I call a legal resource for online entrepreneurs. So I am a licensed attorney in California. I have a practice here that I work with small business owners doing any and everything from business startups, licensing agreements, contracts, commercial leases, whatever it is that they are working on. I help them here in California. And then on a broader stage, I act as a legal resource for online business owners. And really what that means is I provide trainings like this. I provide legal templates for people to be able to kind of plug into their own business, and really try to make the legal piece affordable and really understandable. Like you said, a lot of people shy away from it, or kind of stick their head in the sand and think, it's not gonna affect me because I'm such a small business, right? I don't have enough customers yet to really think about legal, and that's just not true, right? Your first customer can be the one that hits you with a lawsuit, and I don't say that to scare people, but just to really discourage that head in the sand mentality. Legal is just a piece of it. So if you want to be a business owner, you've got to have your legal stuff in order. It's like if you want to drive a car, you have to have car insurance, right? Nobody likes that, but it's just part of it. And so legal is just something we have to do. So yeah, so what I try to do is just try to make it a little bit more palatable, try to make it easier to understand, and then try to help people really take action on it, and avoid that kind of overwhelm and knowing they need to do it, but not doing it because it's scary. So it's teaching people, and then it's also encouraging people to take action.
Fantastic. I'm really excited to have you on here. It's definitely, once people started looking at the list of the summit speakers and they saw that you were coming on, they went, hey, great, you are covering everything. So I'm very, very happy that you could come on here, because it's definitely going to make a big difference to a lot of businesses. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Now, you will be covering FTC regulations a little bit as well. And just to let everyone know, you're not going into information about Europe in general, the rest of the world, but the FTC guidelines are sort of great guidelines to follow anyway. So people watching, and look, most Shopify stores cover all of the world anyway, and a lot in the US. So I think that the guidelines from the FTC definitely are, like you always say, they are enough to sort of work by to start off with, and then you can go deeper into your actual countries that maybe you live in, or that you do a lot of work in, that you sell a lot.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the FTC guidelines are US based, of course, if anybody isn't aware of what the FTC is. And it works as kind of, like you said, a good base to have kind of a broad understanding of some of the regulations. Certainly if you're doing business in the US, it's something that you want to keep in mind and make sure you're complying with. And exactly like you said, if you're focused on doing business in another country, use these as guidelines, and then I'm happy to answer questions or reach out to an attorney in that country, and they can certainly help you with specifics.
Wonderful. So Christy, what I'd love to do is get into the presentation. You've created a presentation which I think is better, because we can sort of jump around questions, but it might just, get a little bit confusing for people. So I love that you've created a presentation. Can we get into that? Let's go through it. I'm going to write some notes down while you're presenting, and then I'm sure I'll have some questions for you at the end that we can get through. But let's get straight into the presentation.
Yes, absolutely. So I always like to use slides in legal presentations, just because I know legal can be dense. It's not lost on me. And so I always like to give people something tangible, because exactly like you said, if they're just staring at my face and I'm saying all these long sentences or rules, it's really easy to get overwhelmed or zone out, let's be honest, or start, checking our phones, and we kind of just forget, like, oh no, this is stuff I need to know. So I really encourage everybody to really focus in on this, and hopefully this will help clarify a lot of the basics. Okay, so as Caroline said, we're really talking about the legal aspects of influencer marketing. I'm going to focus on social media, just because that's kind of the biggest place that people go to have influencers promote, market their products. So the first step I want to get into is really the legal requirements for the actual influencer's post. This is kind of something that people think of, okay, they're just going to post for me, right? There's a lot that goes into that, and there's really a lot of details into what the post can say, what it can't say, what it has to say, and all the details around that. So I would really encourage you to not only make sure that this makes sense to you, but then empower the actual influencer or their team to make sure that they understand this as well. One thing that I want you guys to remember is that if you're paying, or somehow having the influencer post about your store or your products, you can be liable for what that influencer posts, even though it's their post. They're doing it on your behalf. So it's not something I want you to just assume the influencer knows, or hope the influencer knows, or think, well, if they don't do it right, whatever, it's not me. It definitely has you as the brand on the hook as well. So that's something that I just kind of want to say in the beginning, so that this does apply to you. Okay, so step one is really figuring out, does the post qualify as an endorsement? The reason that's important is because, as we talked about, again, I'm going to use the FTC, but bodies of law, or regulations, when they look at influencer posts,